So how do we simplify a number times a parentheses? Well, normally we just simplify inside of the parentheses as much as we possibly can first. So we would just bring this all down. 7 times, simplify this. What is 2 plus 3? 5. So now we're left with 7 times 5. What is 7 times 5? That is 35. So if you've worked with parentheses in the past, you're probably used to solving that way. But how would we simplify something like this, where we've simplified inside of the parentheses as much as possible already? Well, I'm going to show you again using this problem. And so what we do, say we can't simplify the parenthesis anymore, we just take whatever the parenthesis is multiplied by, and we multiply it with each element. So we do 7 times 2 plus 7 times 3. And that gives us 14 plus 21, which is equal to 35, just like our other solution for this example. So we can do the same thing with a problem like this, where it's x times x plus y. So we just multiply the inside, each inside element inside of the parentheses times the outside element. So x times x plus x times y, which gives us x squared, right, from last lesson, plus x times y. And that is how we would simplify a problem like this. So here we can use the same techniques to simplify this expression. So we just need to multiply whatever is outside the parentheses by each element inside of the parentheses. So let's start from the left. Let's go xy times x. And then we do times our second element, second variable inside the parenthesis, xy, right, which is our outside again, times y, times our second element inside the parentheses, plus the outside times our third element, plus xy times z. So let's continue simplifying. What's xy times x? We can write that as x squared y. X squared y plus xy times y can be written as x y squared, x y squared. And then over here we have plus x times y times z can just be written as x y z. And so I don't think we can simplify anymore. This is our solution for this example. So now how do we simplify expressions that look like this, with a parenthesis that we can no longer simplify times another parenthesis that we can no longer simplify? How would we simplify it? Well, similar to the last examples, we just take whatever's outside the parenthesis and multiply it by each element inside of the parenthesis. So we take the outside, a plus b, and we can multiply that by the first element times c. And then we do the same thing, multiply the outside by the second element plus a plus b in parentheses, a plus b times d. Right? We did it there. So now let's simplify this. Outside element times both of the inside elements. So c times a plus c times b. We're doing the same thing, right? C times b. Okay, so this is done. Let's move over here. Plus, what's over here? D times a, right? D times a plus our outside times our second element, d times b. So let's simplify this. Are there any like terms? Nope. Sometimes you gotta watch out when you're multiplying parentheses. Sometimes a like term will pop up. And when you're simplifying, you will need to combine those. And it'll make your expression look a lot cleaner too. But there's no like terms in this case, so we're just gonna finish simplifying. So you always write in alphabetical order when you're done. It doesn't really matter, but your answer might look a little bit different. AC plus BC plus AD plus BD. And that is our solution for this example. This is that simplified. With this example, we can simplify it using the same techniques, even though it looks more complicated. So what we will do is we'll just kind of forget about this, parentheses to start, and we'll multiply, just like the last problem, multiply the outside by the inside. One thing to note here, this is a negative. So when we multiply this by this, we have to write this as negative d. So a plus b times negative d. Don't miss the negative. But once we do that, we have basically it will look like our solution from the last example, and then we keep that all in parentheses and multiply that by this e plus f parentheses. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's do this, our outside times our inside elements. So, a times, a plus b times c, and then minus, because there's a minus our outside element, a plus b times d. And then, so this all is still in parentheses, e plus f. So all this times e plus f still. But we're going to keep simplifying this. So let's do a times our outside element c plus b c. Okay, so that's done. Minus a times d, right? Our outside element. And then minus again, because it's minus whatever that is. So it would be b times d minus, because the minus is also on the outside. So you have to multiply it. So minus bd, and there is that. times E plus F. So since this is smaller and easier to work with, we will just leave this on the outside and then multiply each term or each element inside. Makes sense? So we're doing the same thing. So AC times E plus F is our first element. AC times E plus F. And then we have BC, our second element. The outside times the second element is plus BC times E plus F, E plus F. And then our third element, it's a minus. So we write it as minus AD times our E plus F, the outside element, and then we have another minus here, minus our fourth element times the outside. So minus BD times E plus F. So let's keep simplifying. Let's multiply each of these in with both elements. So we have here ACE plus ACF, and then, so this is done. Let's move over here. Plus we have BCE plus BCE, excuse my chalk, plus BCF, right? BCF. Okay, let's keep going. Then we have a minus here, minus, so minus A, D, E, and then it's still minus because the outside is minus times the inside, so minus A, D, F. So we're done with this. Let's move over here. Same case, minus BDE, minus BDE, and then minus BDF. Okay, are there any like terms? I don't see any, so this is our simplified version of this. Luckily, we will not always be multiplying out every single parentheses. Most of the time, in the future, we will just be leaving the expression in this form, where it's parentheses multiplied by parentheses. But it is important for us to understand what that means and how to multiply it out and simplify it when we need to. And it will really help our understanding of mathematics and algebra and help us in the future.
Hey guys, if this video has been helpful to you, click the link in the description to get access to the complete Easy STEM Algebra 1 system, which includes a textbook, homework, and all of the course videos in order.